in the squadron. They called him Bullets, but we call him Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly is on the air
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Greg Kelly Show.
So President Trump is in France. He's in France. I can't believe he's in France. He's in France right now. There he is. In France with Emmanuel Macron. Why am I shocked? I saw him 3 hours ago at the White House. I saw him 3 hours ago at the White House with my own eyes. I saw him. I went to the UFC last night. It was incredible. It was awesome. It was a dream. It was kind of surreal, and it was just kind of perfect. Everything about it. It was wild. Totally wild. First of all, the fighting was great. Number one, the locale, the location on the White House lawn. And it totally was like in sync. It wasn't like this is the most foreign thing. This shouldn't be, oh my gosh, why? How could they do this? It was natural. It made sense. It was seamless. It was beautiful. The fighters, the way they came in, they came in sometimes via the Oval Office. They'd walk through the Oval Office. They'd walk down the colonnade. They'd walk through the White House, and they'd come down those steps on the South Lawn. Very dramatic, very cool, visually incredibly powerful. We had flybys by the Blue Angels. We had flybys by the Thunderbirds. Actually, at the same time, a B-1 bomber roared overhead. A couple of times it scared the hell out of me. It's like, why you just, yikes, President Trump. And I know this was not the, intent, but man, oh man, he looked like the supreme. He just looked like, it was like Caesar. You know what I mean? It was really cool. And he was intently watching. Dana White did a great job. The staging of it, the everything was so professional. And I know that sounds, but they had to put this thing together pretty fast. So I get there. What did I do? I took the train down. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I don't think I've ever been to a UFC fight. And I know it drives some people crazy because I wasn't the biggest UFC fan, but this is something I can totally get into. I'm totally into it now. Kind of amazed at it's intense. It's so hard. These guys, their workouts, by the way, they all kind of look alike. Even the heavyweights, they all kind of look like, I don't know. They're kind of they're compact and they're ripped. All these fighters, and a lot of them were very grateful to President Trump. They kept on calling him the original gangster. They kept on, and thank you for what you did for us. And fighters from all over the world. I guess the champion was a guy from France, the guy who actually won it. But I was ringside. Never sat ringside before in my life, and that was a total honor, actually, to be there, invited, sitting ringside. Some of the people I saw, in addition to the president and the first lady and the family, his entire family was there. All the kids, everybody was there. They're like really, really into this stuff. They loved it. It was special for them. Afterwards, I noticed the family stayed like a little bit later. They took pictures, obviously with everybody, the champions, Dana White and that kind of thing, but they stayed for group photos. Melania's father. Tiffany's husband, Ivanka, all of them were there. It was really like, you could just tell it was a special, special moment. At one point I saw Eric and his wife, Laura, taking a selfie with the White House in the background. Now, this is something they get to do all the time, right? I mean, selfie, White House, they kind of can live there part-time. It tells you how special it was. And then he goes away at the end of the night, and the night ended late. It was way after 1 in the morning when this thing knocked off. I got there at about 8:30 or so. Great spread, VIP, buffet, this, that, and the other thing. Got in very, very easily. Washington is not New York in terms of how easy it is to get around. It's very, very manageable. Oh, by the way, the crime in New York on Friday night, or what was that, Saturday? Geez, are you crazy? How could that happen? How could that happen in New York? How the hell could that happen? What the hell was the police doing? What were they directed to do? I don't know if there should be a parade, a ticker tape parade after what the hell I just saw. There's a terrorism. That was outright terrorism. The bus vehicles on fire, school buses on fire, metropolitan buses being trashed, all because your team won. I went back. I looked at last time the Knicks won, 1973. Yeah, people are enthusiastic. They didn't have to break anything. I think the most outlandish thing happened when somebody jumped up and cut the net, right? Cut the net down. And a big, like 10,000 people went out to the airport to greet the players because it was an away game. They played in the Los Angeles. This one was in San Antonio. That was good, clean fun. What happened the other day looked like terrorism. And I don't know, to me, it kind of ruins. It's interesting how the media has downplayed it. The New York Times, disturbance after the game, but like paragraph 10, Mamdani goes around with that stupid smile on his face, wearing a Knicks jersey under his jacket. Doesn't even get asked about this stuff. It's just like, it's like a minor non-issue. It's a big deal. The city is very poorly led right now, not only by Mamdani, who's totally out of it, crazy pot-smoking communist, but, I'm sorry, but the police commissioner is derelict. Doesn't know what to do. I hear, by the way, there's a rumor going around that she's leaving. She should have done the right thing and never worked for this guy for a day. Now she leaves an enormous cloud over her head, like she couldn't do the job. And what is she going to do? Run for mayor? How does she run for mayor? What is her claim to fame? What does her resume show? Inept leadership under 3 different mayors, right? De Blasio, she was a commissioner. Adams, and then this guy. I can do for you what I did for these. No, that's not a winning resume. Hope she enjoyed her time in public life. Then again, you know what? Nobody really pays much attention to anything. Things get overwritten very, very quick, especially if you're a billionaire. Anyway, do we have any? Here's a little bit of last night. Let's see here. Don't have too much, actually. It was just like great. Here's when the Blue Angels. You'll hear the national anthem, and the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds fly over in formation. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Go ahead. Catch that? The sound of freedom, baby. The sound of freedom. And then a little while later, a B-1 bomber flew over. Man, that kind of rocked my world. Trying to think. I saw members of the cabinet. I sat next to Secretary McMahon of the Education Department, Linda McMahon, with her family, great people. They have a lot of insight into this. They're from WWE. It's not UFC, but they kind of know a lot. Interesting to talk to them. Blanche was there, Todd Blanche, the Attorney General. I saw Scott Bessent. Who else did I see? Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook. Hey, here's the thing about Mark Zuckerberg. That guy is in serious shape. That guy is ripped. That guy is, he takes very good care of himself. And I'm told that wasn't always the case. He just really focused and did it. So, at one point, a couple of people I know saw me on TV, like I was fist bumping the fighters as they came out or congratulating them as they left, and I thought, yeah, we can do this. I saw it in the movie Rocky. Remember when they come out and they're shaking hands and stuff like that? Yeah, just like in Rocky, and they love it. The fighters love it. So amid all of this, we get the Iran nuclear deal, and it was basically, we knew. Yesterday, I tweeted about it. President Trump put out a Truth Social, announcing the historic breakthrough. And it is historic. And forget about what the hell, anything you hear about this. They're mischaracterizing it. I love peace, don't you? Why would people not like peace? Are you ready? I want to hear J.D. Vance, Vice President, who's scheduled to go over to Europe somewhere on Friday to sign this thing. And I guess the one version of it has already been signed by the negotiators, and then the principals will come in on Friday. In Iran, even the hardliner, they've already signed this. What does it mean? They won't pursue nukes. They won't fund terrorism. The enriched uranium that they have that could be turned into a nuclear weapon will be destroyed and removed from the country. The Strait of Hormuz will open. Sanctions will be lifted, and they get to be a regular country again. Why not? It's win, 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 win. Iran, you really want to be off on your own there? Not getting, the blockade will go away. And the strait is essentially open, but there are still a couple of tricky mines around. But do me a favor, Vice President Vance from This Morning, please. Go ahead.
We see oil prices from a high of $126 a barrel down to about $80 a barrel today. That's a lot of progress. But it also, Gail, fundamentally extends a hand to Iran and says, look, if you guys are willing to honor your obligations, if you're willing to allow real inspections of your nuclear program, then we will welcome you back into the world economy. I think what the President of the United States wants to do is turn over a leaf of 47 years of a failed relationship between the United States and Iran, but that requires the Iranians to actually honor their end of the bargain. So when people say that billions of dollars of assets will be released, that's not true. What is true is that Iran will have a much better and much more prosperous future if they meet the obligations they make in this agreement. We'll, of course, see. That's one of the things we're going to work out in the technical talks that will follow the official signing on Friday.
Mr. Vice President, it's Ed O'Keefe, and we're so glad you're here in part because, as Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said yesterday, you are the architect of this deal. So let's walk through some of this. The Iranians are saying that they're going to have access to a $300 billion reconstruction fund. True or false?
Well, Ed, that's the sort of thing they could have access to, funded by the Gulf Coast Coalition, so long as they honor their end of the obligation. I think that one of the things you're going to see, Ed, and people have to be skeptical of this, is that the hardliners in the Iranian system will overemphasize the benefits that Iran gets while underemphasizing all the things that they have to concede and all the things they have to provide in order to get these benefits. So we absolutely are open to the Gulf Coast countries investing in the reconstruction of Iran, but only if Iran ends their nuclear program, ends their enriched stockpile of material, and is really open to an inspections and enforcement regime that gives the American people confidence they're never going to have a nuclear weapon. So I think the dance you're going to see, Ed, which is going to be interesting, is the Iranian media, especially the hardline media, they're going to talk a lot about what they get without talking about what they give. It's important for all of us to correct that record.
Well, what do you think? I think it's excellent. Now I see some sort of grumbling. Oh, lavish cage match. I don't think a cage match can be lavish. As far as the cage went, the octagon, I saw a cyclone fence and a mat. And I saw guys punching and kicking each other. And the athleticism is amazing. The endurance that it requires. 5-minute rounds, which is a very long time, I think. Right? What is it in boxing? Regular boxing is 3 minutes, right? I don't know what the hell. It seemed like a long time. How long is it in regular boxing? None of you dumbasses knows? Seriously? Well, I know, but you guys are always putting me down for not knowing sports. You guys always act like big shots.
You get a pass here, Greg. You get a pass.
Okay. Jock straps. No, I mean, I really don't know as much about sports as I should. But I do remember, I think, in Rocky, that the rounds were 3 minutes. And very much like Rocky, they had the ring girls going around with this. Remember in Rocky, they were Statue of Liberty. They were also in a very American colonial kind of thing going on. They were beautiful. Let's see what else. Now, here is when President Trump, now you won't be able to hear much other than the awesome music, but I want you to picture something. President Trump and Dana White coming out of the Oval Office, and the way it's photographed, it's like they've got those steady cams. It's like a movie, but it's live. And if anybody thinks this is too elaborate, President Obama was having rap concerts all the time there. All right. He was having things that he liked. Of course, Joe Biden had a transgender orgy, essentially, on the South Lawn during Pride. They have big parties there. You know, the tent was a little bit more sophisticated than a wedding tent, but I have seen wedding tents at all kinds of houses. Barack Obama had a tent. The White House routinely has tents for events. Routinely. This one was just a little bit more elaborate. Nothing wrong with it. Very much Americana on display. What else? Here, listen to this. Okay, here comes Dana White, who's like the CEO of UFC, right? And, you know, this is the guy who made everybody there kind of, oh, there's the music. All right, we'll come back with it. It's kind of great. I also heard the theme from Air Force One for the first time, and I actually liked it for the first time. I mean, I know the movie, and I know I heard it before. I was never that big a fan of the movie, possibly because of Harrison Ford, jerk. But they played it last night. It totally worked. Okay, be right back. Congratulations. We've got peace with Iran.
Greg Kelly.
Let's go, Brandon.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Greg Kelly.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
That's what a burning bus sounds like in the background there. School bus on fire. Go Knicks, huh? What the hell difference does it make? Why would you do that to a bus? And what the hell kind of security situation allows this? It's Mamdani and Democrats. They give up the streets. They give up the streets to the mob. A hands-off approach. First instituted by Bill de Blasio. Oh, let them have fun. Let them blow off steam. I've seen this in... I guess you've seen it in other countries, right? Is that it? Is there anything else? Cops are kind of standing off to the side. There it is, on fire. And then it looks like another one catches fire. This is right outside the Port Authority, 8th Avenue. First, they vandalized this thing, and then they set it on fire. Whoa. It took it took a long time for them to vandalize it. Saw all kinds of videos of them banging it. Here comes the fire truck. Are you happy now? Did you see the poor bus driver came out and said, hey, I'm going to have to pay for this myself? I hope he has insurance. I mean, it looks to me like a regular city school bus. I don't know why he'd have to pay for it. Hey, wait a second. Where did the fire truck go? He kept going. wait. Why did the fire truck keep going? What the hell happened to the fire truck? You know, the city has so many rules, so many different rules. Here we go. There they go. Got the hoses out. Well, that never should have happened. I saw the cops that they put out. A couple of things shouldn't have happened. They should never have had the watch parties. You just don't have them. You close it down around Times Square. You keep young fans away from Madison Square Garden, which should be easy to do on a night where they ain't even in home. They're not even in the Madison Square Garden. You discourage that by coming in. You put out an information campaign, a psychological operations campaign that discourages people from coming in. You boast about certain things. You promote certain things about traffic, about heavy police presence, about a significant crackdown on any unruly behavior. None of that happened. I mean, and also it doesn't cost you anything to say that stuff. You put it out there to shape the battlefield. And instead, the message was, come on in. Have fun. If you want to blow off steam, okay. Try not to burn too many fire trucks. Are you for free Palestine? Go for it. Even have more fun. Oh, great. Okay, then that's a political protest. It's a political protest. There goes New York in many, many ways, watching that truck burn. Think about it. When the hell have you seen this in New York City? When has anything like this happened? When has a vehicle been set on fire in New York? Now, I remember like in the Bronx in the 70s, they were burning vehicles up there, maybe a little bit here and there. I mean, I know it's probably happened at some point, but a bus, that's significant. And right in the middle of the city. What are we going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? We're just going to have to ride this out? Are you going to apply pressure? That's what the media should be doing. They should be applying pressure. They're minimizing it. And the way our stupid culture works, this is like 4 years ago. Nobody can even remember. We've all moved on. Everybody's upset about the UFC fight last night. How could he do something like that? And all trying to badmouth the peace deal that we have with Iran. I think that's beautiful. Now let me go back to last night. Here they come out of the Oval Office. It is Dana White and the President of the United States. I mean, how do you top this if you're Dana White, right? And the photography, again, was cinematic. It was like Steven Spielberg, all right? It was just beautiful. Go ahead. There they come. Like two best buds walking down this amazing corridor out of the office down to that colonnade. A very cool side shot. The Steadicam. You know when the Steadicam was first used? On the movie Rocky, actually. A lot of fanfare, a lot of trumpets. And I was so privileged to be sitting ringside. Ringside! I kept thinking about that guy who was the friend of Rocky in Rocky. What was his name? Mr. Oh, gosh. The loan shark. I felt like that guy. Go for it, Rock. Get him, Rock. I was saying all kinds of trash talk, by the way. You got to trash talk. I noticed that while they were fighting, it wasn't that loud. The fans are very well behaved, maybe a little bit too well behaved. You got to let it go because you really can't let it go if you're sitting next to the Attorney General of the United States, right? If the SEC commissioner is right behind you, you kind of want to stay on your best behavior. But part of it is you're supposed to yell and scream things. Get his ass. Go back to Canada. I didn't say that, did I? Did I say some of those things? It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Good food, too. Oh, gosh, what a spread. And it wasn't that hot. People were trying to psych me out. Oh, it's going to be so hot. It's going to be so hot. You shouldn't go. You shouldn't go. It's going to be, what Washington is like in June, right? I mean, then I found out it's at night. It's going to cool down at night. It's going to be fine. And it was. It was. People were freaked out. Now, I will say this. I underdressed. Because everybody freaked me out about the heat, I came in a nice blue short sleeve shirt with a collar. All right, with the collar. All right, and it was new. It was on the new side, and a clean pair of white pants, very summer, shoes, my shirt stylishly untucked. All right, I felt like, I was staying at a hotel, I'll let you know, the Willard, which is like a half a block away from the White House. So I went from air-conditioned room to I was only outside for a brief amount of time before I was in another air-conditioned room. And by the time it was time to go over, it was like night and there was a nice breeze. And then they had this kind of cooling system inside the tent. And it wasn't really a tent. It was like you were sitting under the Eiffel Tower, if anybody's ever been to the Eiffel Tower. It was like under the Eiffel Tower, that initial structure without the tower on top. A couple of 100,000 people were at the lawn outside the White House watching on big jumbotrons. But I got to see this, and you know what? I got to tell you, even as close as I was, and I was as close as you can be, I found myself glancing at the big jumbotrons from time to time because the cameraman would get like a better angle. Sometimes, right? And like when the guy was, this is something I did not know about UFC. When the guy's down, you can still punch him. You punch the guy when he's down. I mean, in boxing, you punch him, he goes down, that's it. You still punch the guy when he's on the floor. This one guy was getting very, very bloody. That was the featherweight, or it was just, whoa. Is he going to be okay? And one fact, they actually sent the doctor in to stop it. And the doctor said, okay, we're calling it. He did that thing with the follow my finger. And he said, we're stopping it. He shook his head, no, we're stopping it. And then 6 other guys come in. I guess another doctor. They got a second opinion. And everybody says, keep fighting. And they went a couple more. I think they finished the round. And then that was it. Good food, good time. Who else did I see? That was Nick Shirley was there. And I could not have asked for a more interesting evening. And my brother, I got to go with my brother, my beloved older brother, Jimmy Kelly. and it was a very much of a bonding experience for us. They had a goodie bag with a little trophy commemorating the night. I thought that was great. And to watch President Trump there, just taking it all in with his family, and knowing that he was about to go to France. I didn't know actually he was going to go to France. I didn't realize until this morning. I get up, I'm on Amtrak, he's in France. Now that's a couple of things. Number one, presidential power, presidential transportation. It is kind of amazing. It's epic, really. If you're in New York, if you take the train out to Floral Park, that's kind of more involved than the president taking a flight to Zimbabwe, right? It's like, it's hard to describe. I've been on Air Force One a couple of times. It's almost easier to go than to not go, if that makes sense. You're better cared for on that plane than you would be outside the plane. More comfortable on the plane than you would be outside the plane. So it is it's easy to travel that way, but also the endurance of him. So it's well after 2:00 in the morning. I know he's up. I know he's talking to people. I know he's making phone calls. I know he's still very excited about the Iran deal. And what time is it in France? Let's see there. I don't know, but that was 10 hours ago, and now he's in France. Yeah, that's less than 10 hours ago. Wait, yeah, it's 10 hours ago. Wait, 12 hours? 10, something like that. And now he's in France sitting down with Daniel Macron. It's the one and only. Hey, in America 250. America 250. What an occasion. I'm totally into the spirit. Remember when Charlie Brown had a hard time getting into the spirit? Well, now I'm into the spirit. Everybody should be. How has the fake news treated the whole thing, the news about the Iran deal? Have they been downplaying it? Have they? Cut one, please. Cut one.
Begin with a big announcement from the White House. President Trump revealing that a deal is now complete with Iran, ending weeks of negotiations and mixed signals about a possible deal. The president says the deal includes opening the Strait of Hormuz immediately and ending America's naval blockade. ABC's chief global correspondent Martha Raddatz leads us off with the latest from Jerusalem.
News that a peace deal between the U.S. and Iran has been reached. President Trump posting, "The deal with the Islamic Republic of Iran is now complete. Congratulations to all. I hereby fully authorize the toll-free opening of the Strait of Hormuz and simultaneously herewith authorize the immediate removal of the United States naval blockade. Ships of the world, start your engines. Let the oil flow." This followed a day of uncertainty after Israel struck Hezbollah targets in Beirut, prompting outrage from the president. At least 3 people were killed and 6 others wounded in the strikes, according to the Lebanese civil defense, Israel insisting this was retaliation against Hezbollah. Iran's chief negotiator responding to the strikes, calling it proof that the U.S. lacks commitment, saying the bad cop, good cop game is outdated and promising its own retaliation against Israel. But the Trump administration expressed confidence that the deal would still go through.
The president has every intent for it to happen. The Iranians are incredibly difficult negotiators.
But the technical details of the nuclear portion are yet to be established. Former Israeli senior military intelligence officer Avner Vilar telling us that it is doubtful Prime Minister Netanyahu would support the deal.
Well, they say that it's going to deal with the nuclear problem and that Iran has promised not to produce or acquire a nuclear weapon.
Well, we've known the Iranians for many years. You don't really believe that the fact that they promised or they signed something is worth anything.
Lindsay, White House officials have said this agreement is not based on trust but verification, and this still has a very long way to go before any permanent peace or nuclear deal is hammered out. Lindsay?
Perhaps heading in the right direction, though. Martha Raddatz in Jerusalem, thank you.
How about that? They didn't all over it, you know? They didn't all over it. I think what you're seeing here is a little bit of awe, right? I mean, every now and then, like, wow, he really did it. He really did it. Yes, there are some steps to go through and little hurdles and that kind of thing, but big picture, Ain't nothing wrong with peace. It's a worthy goal, the best goal. We'll be right back.
Greg Kelly
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Hey, you heard about Eyewitness News anchorman Bill Ritter, R-I-T-T-E-R. Been on air for a long time in New York City since like the late 90s, I think. It's 28 years. Look, he got sick. He's got Alzheimer's. And, he's one of those fixtures. You thought he'd always be there. But now he's gone. Not quite as big as Ernie Anastas, and he's gone. Can't believe it. Look, I was never the biggest Bill Ritter fan. I thought he leaned left. I thought he definitely leaned left. Came out, a lot of people had Trump derangement syndrome. He might have been one of them. But a professional when he wasn't being biased. Totally professional. Great delivery. He also seemed to have a respect for the viewer and for his guests. He would do this nice Sunday show. Public Affairs. So here he is making the announcement that basically it was his last show, right? And he's been sitting next to Liz Cho for a long time. That Liz Cho is pretty nice, wouldn't you agree? Her throat moves a little bit funny, though. You ever notice that? It's like a little bit reptilian. If you look carefully, there's something pulsating about her throat. And I think she keeps it covered with her hair for that reason. It just kind of pulsates back and forth. But anyway, let's hear from Bill Ritter.
Before we go, I'd like to share a very personal message with you. You remember that last year, well, some of you will, I turned 75, and I thought it was time to cut back a bit. After so many years, I stopped anchoring the 11 o'clock and then later the 5 o'clock news. My goal was to spend more time with my family. Well, a year ago, I became a grandfather, thanks to my oldest daughter. And later this summer, I'll have a second grandchild, thanks to my son. And in a year from now, my youngest daughter will graduate high school. But spending more time with my family has now become even more important because my life has taken a turn. After a series of tests, my doctors have told me I have Alzheimer's. This is called early stage Alzheimer's. And they say the treatments I'm getting are keeping it at bay, at least for now. But there is no guarantee here because there's no cure yet for Alzheimer's. So unless someone finds an amazing cure, and really soon, tonight will be the last newscast I anchor. It's not easy for me to say all that to you, our viewers, and the people I work with. Like the man I have worked with for 25 and a half years, our producer and my friend, Zahir Sachedina. I believe we are the longest running behind-the-scenes newscast team ever. Here, or maybe anywhere. A Muslim producer and a Jewish anchor for 25 and a half years. It's what the melting pot of New York and the tri-state, and I would hope the country, is all about. For 23 of these years, I anchored next to my remarkable partner and friend, Liz Cho.
Yes, let's
talk. We're the longest running on-air team in the history of Channel 7. And for 20 years...
Hey, hold on a second. Stop. What about Roger Grimsby and Bill Butel? What about those guys? Now, look, look, what an amazing career. He's retiring at 76. 76. All right? That's unusual. And he's very, very privileged. And, we wish him all the best. Hope they do come up with that cure because... it'd be great for him. It'd be great for everybody else. Alzheimer's. It's tough. All right. Thank you, Bill Ritter. Well done. And our best to you and your family. And I hope there's a cure. That would be wonderful.
Thanks for listening to The Greg Kelly Show. You can hear The Greg Kelly Show weekdays at 12:15 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?